Hello guys and welcome back. Today in this video, we'll be learning the concept of operators in Python. So far we've studied or learned about all the types, all the ways in which you can store data in a variable. So today we'll be starting with operators. So you must know some basic mathematics, right? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and stuff. So I'll just introduce that to you. So now if you have something like num1, okay, equals like 5, okay, and num2 equals 3. So I've taken really basic numbers. So now if you want to add these numbers and get the total of these numbers, so how can you do that? So you can just type print, because in the previous videos how to show the desired text that you want on the terminal. So you can just type that and then num1, okay, and now what to do is to add a plus sign. So after doing that, what will happen is you have to type num2, right? So now I know I have told you guys that if I print something like num1 plus num2, something like if there's a string or something like that, so it will just combine the string. But in numbers or integers, to be specific, what they do is it adds numbers. If that's a string, it just combines them, and if they are numbers, it just adds them. So if I run this, okay, so it's giving me an error because there's no file. I just deleted that file. So I'll just run this thing, and what it will give me is 8, which is the sum of 5 and 3. Now if you want to show the number 53, so what you have to do is just convert this thing into a string, okay? So now if you do this, you will just see the number 53, okay? So that's how it works, and yeah, pretty simple, right? Now there are 7 types of operations. Now there is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are the 4 most common operators in real life mathematics also. But now there are 3 more types of operators. First is modulus, second is exponential, and the third is floor division. So what are these things? Now first of all, you might know what exponential is if you're big enough to know, and you have learned the concept in math. So what exponent is, basically it just has 2 numbers. Like if I have 2 and I exponentially multiply it by 2, so what I'll get is 4. Not because I'm multiplying 2 into 2, but because I am multiplying 2 the number of times that it's written. Now for example, now there is first number as 5, for example, and the second number is 8. Let's not take such a big number, we'll just take 4, right? So now it's actually written in real life is like 5, and then it's a bit small, and it's written just right above it but to the side of it. So this is how it's written. Okay, so now how it works. Now you see, if I exponentially multiply this thing, I won't get 5 into 4, which is 20, but I'll get the answer as 5 multiplied by itself 4 times the number of times that the second number is. So 5 into 5, 25, 25 into 5, 125, and so on. So what you get, the result is 625. So I hope I'm not incorrect in my calculations. So that's how it's done. So now let's talk about modulus. Now what is modulus is, it just gives us the remainder of what numbers we want to divide. Like for example, I divide 5 by 3. So what happens is I just divide just like this, and then what happens is I get the remainder as 2. So it will just show me the remainder of those two numbers when they are divided. So that's how it works. Now the last thing, which is the seventh operator, is floor division. Now this is pretty much straightforward, but it's just a little confusing. So just try to understand this very nicely. So how it's done is, now if I'm multiplying again 5 by 3, so I'll just get a number in points, maybe, so points number. But what it does is it just removes the points and gives me whatever the quotient is. Quotient means the answer, the answer which we get after we divide. So for example, I'm just giving a random number. For example, the number is like 12.6. Okay, 12.6. So what it'll do is it will not round off, which will make it go to 13, but it will stay at 12 and just remove the decimal places. So keep that in mind, that it doesn't round those numbers, but it just removes the decimal places of that particular number after dividing it. Okay. Now what if it is a single number in both the numbers is negative? So what happens is, for example, I get minus 12.3. okay, minus 12.3. So what it'll do, it won't just remove minus 12.3. It won't remove 0.3 from the minus 12, but it will go on to minus 13, because it always tries to round off to a number that's farther than 0. So I hope you understood this until now. So if it's a negative number, it just rounds off to a number which is more farther than 0, and if it's a positive number, it just simply removes the decimal places so that you have a proper integer. So now we'll discuss about how to use these. Now for the plus is this plus sign, as you all might know. For minus, it's the minus sign again. We all know that, right? Okay, so I'll just have to remove these. Okay, so I'll just remove these. Okay, so then it will just give me its answer as 2. Now for multiplication, you can see on the keyboard, but there is no any sign except this X. But if you type this X, you might get an error, because that's not how you multiply. You multiply it by the star, which is on the 8 key on the keyboard. Shift and press 8. So you'll get this star button. You see this and you'll just get 15 right here. Okay. Now for division, so it's just not that division thing because that's not present on the keyboard, but the thing is slash. So if you press the slash and you just do this, you'll get some point number. Okay. Now about exponential. So about that, you just have to multiply it and then again. So this represents that you want it to multiply it exponentially. So what will be is the answer will be 125. Okay, as you can see, because it's multiplied exponentially. Now for modulus, it will just give us the remainder, which is 2, and for that you have to make the percentage sign, and you do that, then you'll just get the answer as 2. Simple as that, right? Now the last but not least, floor division is by pressing the division symbol on the keyboard twice. So that will give you floor division, and which will give you something about 1 because it removes all the point numbers. Now for floor division, I want to give you some examples. For example, I make this 5 as -5. So if you divide it normally, you will get -1 point something something, but if you divide this now, you'll just get -2. Because as I told you, it just rounds off to the farthest number that's possible by it. So I hope you guys got it till now, and I have to take your leave. I'll meet you in the next video in which I'll discuss about the input statements. So stay tuned for that, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so that you never miss any upload of mine, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.